Hello students, welcome to virtual classes. This is the part 5 of chapter number 4, and even this is the last part of this chapter. And in this video today we'll discuss about genomics and human genome project and DNA fingerprinting. Now, what is genomics? So, a genome is all the DNA in an organism present, including its genes. And DNA is made up of 4 different nucleotides, or you can say chemicals. They are adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. And that are repeated millions of times in a genome. And the order of these bases is very important as it determines what type of that species is of a particular organism. So the term genome refers to all the genes present in a cell or virus. And prokaryotes normally possess a single chromosome, hence they have only one set of genes. They are haploid. While eukaryotic organisms have 2 sets of genes since they are diploid, and the genome of any organism is the total number of genes present on the haploid set of chromosome. Types of genomics. Genomics can be studied under 2 types. First is structural genomics. It involves mapping, sequencing, and analysis of genome. And second is functional genomics. It deals with the study of functions of all gene sequences and their expression in organism. Application of genomics. Genomics, they are applied in the improvement of crop like transgenic crops in agriculture. And transgenic crops are hybrid crops which are having more desirable characteristics or characters. Then they are even applicable in human health and diseases, in forensic analysis, and in introduction of new genes in microbes to produce enzymes, therapeutic proteins, hormones like insulin, and biofuels. Now, what is Human Genome Project? This project was initiated in 1990 and was completed in 2003. So, this project, that is the Human Genome Project or HGP, was an international research effort to determine the sequence of human genome and to identify the genes that it contains. And the US Human Genome Project is a 13 to 15 year effort which was coordinated by Department of Energy and National Institute of Health. So, aim of this Human Genome Project is mapping the entire human genome at the level of nucleotide sequences. Means how many nucleotides are present in entire human genome. Then to store the information collected from the project in databases. The information which is obtained that need to be stored in a particular databases. Then to develop tools and techniques for analysis of data. Then transfer of related technology to the private sector such as industries. Then even taking care of the legal, ethical, and social issues which may arise from this project. So there are certain goals of this HGP, and these goals, they are: first, to identify all the genes present in human DNA, then to know the function of each genes, then to develop a genetic linkage map of human genome. Genetic linkage, which genes is linked to which gene. Then to obtain a physical map of human genome. Then to develop technology for the management of human genome information. Then determine the sequence of 3 billion chemical base pairs that make up human DNA. So human genome consists of 3 billion base pairs, and to store this information in public databases, then to develop tools for data analysis and transfer related technologies to private sectors. So the Human Genome Project, or the HGP, explored a new field in biology which is called as genomics. So it was the study of genes and genomes by DNA sequencing and related analysis. Genomics provides researchers with potential to learn more about the molecular biology of genes, its structure and function, then gene regulation, gene expression, then gene evolution and gene mutation. So primary goal of HGP was to generate detailed map of human genome, and these maps will aid in determining the location of genes within the human genome. Therefore, the genes will be assigned to the chromosomes, and two maps of genes were generated. These are genetic linkage maps, which determines the relative arrangement and approximate distance between genes and markers on the chromosome. And second one is physical maps, which specify the physical location, that is the where the base pairs are located, and distance between the genes of DNA or DNA fragments with unknown functions. So to complete the sequence, or the complete sequence of human genome has been described as the blueprint of humanity, containing the scientific keys to understanding our biology and behaviors. And its one immediate impact is to identify genes associated with human genetic diseases. So the HGP involved in mapping and sequencing genomes from a number of model organisms, which includes E. coli, then Drosophila, then you can say yeast. So these are the model organisms, and complete genome sequences of these model organisms will be useful for comparative studies that will allow researchers to study gene functions in these organisms. So it will lead to understanding of gene structure and function in other species, including humans. And we possess many of the same genes as flies, roundworms, mice. So such studies will lead to a greater understanding of human evolution also. So here is the chart of some of the model organisms which are compared with human chromosome number and the estimated gene number. So in case of humans, that is Homo sapiens, there are 46 chromosomes and estimated gene number is 33,000, while the estimated size of base pairs is 3 billion. How many? 3 billion. And if we see bacteria, that is the E. coli, chromosome number is 1 and the estimated gene number is 4,400 only, and estimated size base pairs is 4.6 million. And in case of fruit fly, that is the Drosophila, there are 8 chromosomes and the estimated gene number is 13,000, while the estimated size of base pairs is 165 million. So this is a comparative chart of model organism. Now important application of HGP. First of all, in identification of human genes and their functions, then understanding of polygenic disorders like cancer, hypertension, that is the high blood pressure, and diabetes. Polygenic disorders means disorders in which the more than one genes are responsible for the cause of a disease. Then improvements in gene therapy. Then improved diagnosis of diseases. How the disease can be diagnosed in improved manner. New technology need to be used, which technology are suitable and which are not. Then development of pharmacogenesis, that is a medicine. Then next is genetic basis of psychiatric disorders. Now psychiatric disorders, they are brain disorders. So which genes are responsible for the cause of these psychiatric abnormalities or disorders? Then understanding of complex social traits. Why, being human beings, each and every social groups possess a complex social trait. We are differing with each other with social traits. To understand this DNA, you can say genomics helps a lot. Then improved knowledge on mutation. Mutations are sudden change in genetic sequence of an individual, and these mutations can be because of physical mutagens or maybe because of chemical mutagens. And why these mutations they are, or what type of mutations are causing which diseases. So their knowledge need to be improved, and genomics helps in this. Then better understanding of developmental biology. Then development of biotechnology, means how the biotechnology helps, that is a technology helping in improved method of understanding biology of human beings and other different living organisms. So technology need to be improvised to study biological sequences, biological reactions, biological complexes which are present in different organisms and human beings. Now next is DNA fingerprinting. So DNA fingerprinting technique is based on identification of nucleotide sequence present on this master molecule or wonder molecule, that is the DNA. And it is very much necessary to note that 99.9% of nucleotide sequence in all the persons is same, while only 0.1% nucleotide sequence is different. So only some short sequences of nucleotides that differ from person to person. And in a population, every person shows unusual sequences of 20 to 100 base pairs, which are repeated several times. I repeat, only 20 to 100 base pairs unusual sequences are present, which are repeated several times in a population from person to person. So these they are termed as variable number of tandem repeats, that is VNTR, variable number of tandem repeats. And the length of the regions having VNTR is different in each individual, and hence it is the key factor in DNA profiling, that is the DNA fingerprinting. So there are different steps which are followed in DNA profiling. First is DNA isolation. Here DNA is obtained from any material available like blood, semen, hair roots, tissue sample, etc. Then next, DNA amplification. If the DNA quantity is small, it is subjected to in vitro replication by a technique called PCR. In vitro means outside the body, and PCR means polymerase chain reaction, to obtain more copies of DNA. So small amount of DNA is amplified by the technique PCR. Then comes DNA fragmentation. The DNA sample is then subjected to restriction endonucleases which cut DNA at specific locations, making many pieces of DNA having variable length. So restriction endonucleases, they have a unique quality to cut DNA at a specific point, and this phenomena is also called as restriction fragment length polymorphism, that is RELF, and this process is called restriction digestion. Now this DNA fragmentation further undergo various steps, like first is electrophoresis. It is a biochemical technique in which the DNA samples are loaded on agarose gel. Electrophoresis. Here gel is used which is called as agarose, and the charge is applied, means the electricity is applied. Then the DNA fragments which are negatively charged, they move to positive pole, and the movement of these fragments depends on length of these fragments. This results in formation of bands. So bands are developed or bands are formed. Then comes southern blotting. Here the bands, they are now blotted on nylon membrane, that is the nitrocellulose paper. So the single stranded DNA strands get embedded into nylon membrane. Then next is hybridization. Here the bands are flooded with single stranded radioactive DNA probe. A radioactive DNA probe is used. So due to natural affinity, sample DNA and the probe DNA form the double-stranded structure. And these double-stranded DNA structures, they remain embedded in the nylon membrane, that is the nitrocellulose paper. And remaining single-stranded DNA probe fragments, they are then washed off. So now the desired DNA fragment is obtained. It need to be photographed. So next is photography for documentation. So this nylon membrane is kept in contact with X-ray film, and the DNA bands due to radioactive probe give photographic image on X-ray film for documentation. So here in this slide you can see the process of DNA fingerprinting. First sample is loaded, then DNA extraction is done, then isolated purified DNA is obtained, then with the help of restriction enzyme which cut DNA at specific points, DNA fragments are obtained. Then these DNA fragments, they are further subjected to electrophoresis, where different bands are obtained, and then this is further subjected to southern blotting technique, or you can say the DNA, they are transferred to southern blotting method. Then from here they are then hybridized, or you can say hybridization of DNA takes place. So selected single stranded DNA probes are used, then they are subjected for photography on X-ray film. So this is how the DNA fragmentation, or you can say by the process of DNA fingerprinting, DNA fragments of any individual can be obtained. Now in India this technique was developed by Dr. Lalaji Singh. So radioactive DNA probe is obtained from Y chromosome of female banded krait snake, and the unique segment obtained from this chromosome is banded krait mini satellite, that is the BKM DNA. Banded krait mini satellite, BKM DNA. So DNA fingerprinting, it has many applications, like first in forensic science. DNA fingerprinting is used to solve problems of rape and some murder cases. Then it is used to find out the biological father or mother or both the parents of a child in case of complicated disputed parentage. Then DNA fingerprinting is used in pedigree analysis in cats, dogs, horses and humans. Even in agriculture, DNA fingerprinting is used, and the technique is also useful in genomics. So this is all about today's topic. With this we have completed this chapter. I hope you have understood the whole chapter. Please go through the chapter and make your own notes. Okay then students, goodbye, take care.